finally gotten to the place where I realized that if I'm not enjoying it because I'm adding all of this stress and anxiety and worry to my life, like, what's the point? Just like we've been decluttering our homes, our bathrooms, our closets, our dresser drawers, our rooms, we have to start decluttering unnecessary stress from our lives. Ain't nobody got time for that. Welcome back, my friends, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Christy, and I make content centered around realizing that no matter where we are in life, no matter our age, we are just on time to live the life of our dreams. And right now, we're getting toward the end of a 7-week reset where we are resetting and getting together our lives, our minds, our homes, all of the things so that we can be ready for 2024. If this is your first video, no worries whatsoever. You can go back, you can view the videos. We have free resources that you can use to make this year your best year ever. This week, we are focusing on reducing our stress so that we can start enjoying life. Babes, I am preaching to myself with this video because I am the queen of adding unnecessary stress to my life and freaking the frick out over things that just don't matter. And the thing is, where I add this unnecessary stress to my life, I see that my husband is actually able to accomplish the exact same thing without the additional stress, which means that it is possible to be accomplished and to be successful and to be able to do the things and to enjoy life without the unnecessary stress. I know that it is something that in my personality that I feel like if I'm not perfect, then I'm not necessarily doing a good job. And that is a lie from the enemy. We are taking that lie captive, we are throwing it away, and we are moving in the direction of doing the things that we need to do and having joy in the whole process. First off, I think it's really important for us to understand what is stress. So, the World Health Organization defines stress as a state of mental tension caused by a difficult situation. Stress is a natural human response. It is a thing that, to some degree, is a good thing, and to some degree we need because it allows us to be able to protect ourselves, protect the people around us, and generally to get things done. If we move through life 100% unbothered in every single situation, then we're not getting everything done. And so there is some level, literally, look at my fingers, just a tiny bit, there is some level of stress that is good for our lives, but beyond just that little bit, every single situation, every single instance should not be a cause for an extreme level of stress. So there are about 3 reasons that we add it to this extreme level. One is this desire for things to be perfect, for this perfectionist personality. I know that that is personally my own cross that I bear, is the desire to be perfect. And I get trapped into thinking that if it's not perfect, is it even good? We're gonna go into that in more depth. But first, there is this perfectionist mindset. The other thing is this idea of how it should be and how we expected things to be versus how things actually are. And then finally, there's this feeling of not being good enough. And so then we put extra pressure on ourselves. Thankfully, there are ways to be able to combat that. And the top way to be able to combat is that we have to start getting rid of it. Just like we've been decluttering our homes, our bathrooms, our closets, our dresser drawers, our rooms, like we've been decluttering all of that stuff, we have to start decluttering unnecessary stress from our lives so that it does not ruin us. And to combat that unnecessary stress and anxiety from our lives, we have to be super intentional about letting things go, enjoying life, and really enjoying and embracing the process of getting to our goals. One way we do that is by finding good enough. If you're expecting perfection, you are putting so much unnecessary pressure on yourself because things are never going to be perfect. There's always going to be someone who has some criticism about how you're doing a thing. And so let the perfectionism go. I'm telling myself, let the perfectionism go. You have to find the point where things are good enough. And if you can't see that, if you're in a place where you're so stuck in your mind where you can't see that, then find somebody else, a trusted friend, to be able to help you with that and to give you advice and encouragement in that area. For whatever reason, I have always thought that getting to perfect means that I'm doing my best. But we have got to redefine what it means to be doing our best. Best doesn't necessarily mean constantly moving until we get a thing perfect. You have to start looking at best holistically, because if you're trying to be perfect in one area, inevitably there are going to be other areas of your life that end up suffering, that end up getting neglected. You may be putting several hours into your job, into your work, but then how are other areas of your life? How is your health? How are your relationships? You may be trying to be the perfect parent, but are you actually taking care of yourself as well? Your 2-hour self-care routine may be on point, but what other areas of your life are you sacrificing to be able to make that happen? So my new definition of best is doing things well while still doing things in a way that doesn't interrupt my peace and interrupt my harmony. I know for me, since I have started YouTube up until literally now-ish, I was making YouTube so unsustainable for me. Editing would take like 10 to 20 hours because one, I was uncomfortable with the process, but then also I was just trying to make things perfect. And I felt like if it wasn't perfect, then people weren't gonna watch it. But you have to get yourself out there. You have to do it anyway. And it's literally been, honestly, since I've started this decluttering journey where I was able to see YouTube as a sustainable thing, because I'm like, I'm not gonna be spending hours and hours and hours editing anymore. Like, that's just not a thing. And once I made my mind up about that, the time that it took to figure out what I want to talk about and edit that video has shrunk down dramatically. And I've gotten to a place where I feel like it is good enough. Is it perfect? No. I will always look at videos and be like, I could have said that, I could have done that, blah, blah, blah. But it is in a place that is good enough. It is in a place that is helping people, and I'm good with that. So find what's good enough. The next thing is to see failures as an opportunity to learn. So often we end up seeing failure as proof that we're not good enough for this, that this thing is not meant for us. But failure is actually just part of the journey, and it teaches us how to do things better the next time. Do not get fooled by instant success. So for a very unpopular opinion, we live in a time and in an age where people don't know how to handle failure because they haven't really experienced it. They're used to receiving awards for everything, even if they're not good, even if they are the last in place. Everybody gets an award no matter what the thing is. And that has been so much more harmful to our generation than it has been helpful. I 100% agree that everybody should feel like a winner, but you can't feel like a winner if you're acting like a loser. You can't feel like a winner if you're not doing the things to actually be a winner. Do the things, work hard, persevere, struggle, fail, get back up again, learn from that. Those are necessary and important parts of the journey, but when we don't learn that, we get into feeling like, oh, well, maybe failure means that I'm just not good enough. Failure is just simply the route to figure out how to do things better next time, how to be better next time, and how to learn the skills of perseverance. When we don't have the skills of perseverance, we let that affect how we feel about ourselves and what it is that we can do, and don't use that as motivation to be able to continue moving forward. You are going to be in such a much better place because of having experienced all of those obstacles, all of those failures in the past. The next thing is to celebrate all of the wins. Sometimes we are so doing a thing and we're in the journey and the process of doing the thing that we forget to stop and actually celebrate all of the victories that are along the way to whatever our ultimate goal is. But we cannot forget to celebrate every single step and every single milestone along the way. With my YouTube example, 1,000 subscribers may not necessarily be 100,000 subscribers, but it is a goal, it is a milestone, and it's a big thing because so many people never even have the courage to start. So celebrate the fact that you started. Celebrate the fact that you put yourself out there and that you took a chance on yourself. If you're trying to lose weight, 2 pounds may not necessarily be 20 pounds, but that 2 pounds shows that you have started to put in some effort and some dedication to yourself that is leading toward your goal. Celebrate that. When we don't celebrate along the way, we don't see how much it is that we're actually accomplishing. And we get in the mindset that things are not happening, when in reality, things were happening. Not necessarily by leaps and bounds, but things were happening incrementally. And seeing that growth and celebrating it actually encourages us to keep moving forward. We have to recognize where we are and how far we've come for us to continue moving forward. Otherwise, it is easy for us to get caught up in this disappointment that things are not exactly where we want them to be. And so then we just stop. Another thing is to find something to enjoy every single day. When you are intentional about finding joy in your day, it helps you to enjoy life a whole lot more. And I'm not talking about taking time to mindlessly scroll on your phone for hours on end, unless you plan that out and for whatever reason you need that. But I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about really being intentional about enjoying the moment. Life gets busy and we have things to do and we have disappointments and we have discouragements that happen in our life. But when we take a moment to stop and enjoy where we are, enjoy the present, and have something within that we can look forward to, that we have planned to look forward to, then it makes those things so much more bearable, and it reminds us that there is so much more to life than work and busyness and meeting other people's needs. This especially is the time of year to be celebrating and to be relaxing and to be slowing down and enjoying family, enjoying all of the things that this season brings. But even as we enter into the new year, we'll be a lot more effective in achieving our goals and achieving the things that we're trying to accomplish if we take time to find some relaxation, find some joy and some pleasure in each and every day. Even if that's only 10 minutes. It doesn't have to be a long amount of time, but it does have to be intentional. I really want you and me to be able to enjoy our lives, enjoy the fruit of all of our hard work, to see where it is that we've come, how far we've come, and where we are going, and to enjoy every step along the way. But we can't do that if we are allowing stress to be able to sneak in and to take over and steal the joy from our lives. I need you to let me know, what is one thing that you can do to enjoy your life every single day this week? And of course, I'm gonna put mine in there as well. This week's activities are about confronting that stress and figuring out ways to be able to enjoy our lives every single day. Also, if you're not subscribed, what are you doing? I'm gonna need you to jump on that. Alrighty guys, I love you and I'll see you in my next. Mwah! Bye for now.